the recent weeks and likely months to come, our ability to work from home can be both a curse and a blessing at the same time. I've started several businesses out of my home and have had the pleasure of having the flexibility of being able to work from here. With the recent transition back to home that many of us are experiencing and the need to work remotely when and where we can, I knew that it was time to finally finish this DIY desk setup from IKEA to maximize my productivity. And yes, this setup is from IKEA's kitchen department. As I said before, working from home does have its drawbacks. Like, when you end up making one room a dumping ground for all of those items that somehow found a way of crashing on the couch or the floor, and I'm pretty certain that at one point we did have some good times together. Fast forward to now, with kids, multiple ventures that needed my attention, and my continued growth in all of these aspects of life, I finally reached a point where saying goodbye for now was the right thing. Organizing and purging those items I had no daily or even weekly use for. Cleaning out the clutter was actually the easy part. I have no problem saying goodbye when I know that just around the corner, I'm going to be saying hello again, but next time making it clear that they won't find a semi-permanent home on my sofa or floor. Painting, on the other hand, is not my favorite task. I do love to build things around my house, but the finishing touches of painting are not something I yearn for. But if I was going to hit this head on, I might as well wrestle the bear and get it done. I chose matte colors of Behr Ultra, which is actually a lower VOC choice, and the matte finish is recommended if you're going to do any kind of filming in the space. Shadow Mountain is the gray accent wall, and often the background in many of my videos, with falling snow carefully finding its way in a gentle drift onto the rest of the walls. Putting everything back together is something that I do really enjoy as well because I can actually start to reimagine what the space will look like. I've worked so hard this previous year to transition into a full-time content creator, so with this goal still very much in sight, I reassembled it with items that were both inspirational and meaningful and things that I had just collected over the years or that had been gifted to me, but also with a primary focus on functionality for that creative workflow. As far as functionality is concerned, I decided when putting the space back together that the cabinets would be organized in a way that allowed for easier access to items that I tended to use more often. Each cabinet is a home to the tools and gear that are for a specific function, and having access to those tools on the fly helps me keep moving forward. I am still building out several filming sets in the space, but I do love the convenience of being able to film small products on the desktop. If I need extra lighting or reflectors, I do have a cabinet specific to those needs, although I do keep my softboxes set up most of the time because when I want to film, I want to have as few steps as possible to start filming. This same filming area is also a very important workstation for other things, like when I need to repair my kid's Xbox controller. They always know that I've got this amazing set of tools laying around. I often speak about audio on the channel, and this is something that is just as important, if not more so than the video. My audio equipment just lives upstairs within reach, and I do visit it often for my filming needs. Its roommate next door is where I'll find my trusty Atlas Athlete Pack, and I do visit it from time to time, reminiscing about the days that were, but reassuring it that we'll be able to take a field trip soon. As far as reusing items, I've always tried to make sure of the things I've had laying around from another time in my life. And rather than immediately purchasing new organizers, I really do try to incorporate these items back into my new workflow, as long as it can serve its purpose. Reused shoeboxes can be a great storage solution for items that I still may need, but not as often as the other items that are more prominent and easier to access. The technology that is central to my work, besides my camera and audio gear, is a 2017 13-inch MacBook Pro that is docked on a repurposed smartphone holder. This is able to easily push my 34-inch curved editing monitor from ViewSonic, which I'm actually still reviewing and hope to have a video out soon with my impressions. When looking under the hood and you assume to find a mere 13-inch MacBook Pro, and you question its ability to be a sufficient video editing machine, I can assure you that editing 4K footage in Final Cut is no problem. But you may ask, well, what if you need muscle for stabilization, color correction, and LUTs? I'd end up pointing you in the direction away from what's under the hood, and rather what's in the trunk. Here you'll find my Mantis Venus EGPU that's home to a Vega 64 graphics card and is connected via Thunderbolt to the computer and also directly connected to the monitor via the DisplayPort cable. I'll have a video linked up on my initial review of this setup. My nostalgia has the best of me when it comes to the original wireless keyboard from Apple, It's just a reminder that the ever-popular chiclet style look and function, I suppose for me, it just works. I've never been one for the Magic Mouse simply based on the ergonomics, so the Logitech MX Master 3 is right by my side. It's comfortable to use for long periods of time, and I really do love the customization options you get with this mouse. And for those items that are not wireless on the desktop, they're getting a great big hug from a simple cable management system that I also purchased from IKEA. My Synology server resides in this cabinet, and it is vented in the back. It's home to terabytes of footage that are easy to access over my network, but they're also redundant in the cloud. As far as the ergonomics, the whole point of this entire setup was not only to inspire creativity and convenience, but to really work the way that I wanted to work. A standing setup is great, but for most it's not ideal for long periods of time. Having the flexibility of moving around the work surface from a standing position is a plus, and the ability to use a monitor in multiple ways helps keep my focus straight ahead. The newest addition to this setup is the Behr Move standing stool. Because I like to move up and down, side to side, and even lean against things, this has been one of the best investments for the way that I want to work. And when I want to move it out of the way for filming, well, that's plenty easy too. This is all still a work in progress, but I just needed a place to start getting to that deep work right now. As I finish building out the rest of the studio, I'll be sure to post an update to the channel, so if you're interested, feel free to stay tuned for that. I'll link up as many of the items that I can, but do realize that some of the IKEA items may not always be available as they do seem to change what they offer. I really do appreciate your time checking out the space, and I'd really love to hear what your pain points are when it comes to working from home. Go out there and do those things that matter. You keep rocking those faces. Keep moving forward, and I'll catch you right back here on the channel on the next one.